I remember I took Jake shooting. I think it was the first time he'd ever been shooting. And he was like, man, this is really fun. I said, well, yeah, it's shooting, man. I said, this is like my yoga as I go shooting. And he just thought that was the funniest thing ever, that just the utter chaos in the range would be my yoga.
The premise of it is pretty cool because Jake and Dan were out shooting guns one time, and Dan just kind of inadvertently said, my life is guns and guitars. And that stuck with Jake, or it resonated enough for him to write these lyrics. And in reality, that is Dan's life, is guns, guitars, and his family. But we couldn't put family in there because it just wasn't as tough. So we kept it with guns and guitars.
Guns and Guitars was a cool song that kind of came about from talking to Dan about shooting, obviously. And Dan said, man, guns and guitars, that's my yoga, man. So I was like, well, that's a great bar anthem, right? Guns and Guitars.
They talked about it, I guess Jake and Dan were out at the gun range one day and doing some shooting and talking about guitars and stuff. And Dan said, guns and guitars, man, that's my yoga. So I was like, I think for me, it's more like motorcycles is my yoga, and I've got lots of guitars and drums and stuff. But yeah, for Dan, that's kind of what helps him relax is to go shoot some guns, play guitars, and that's kind of the genesis of that song.
He brought this really driving riff that sounded like it was off an old Metallica album. And we knew exactly how it was going because Phil and Dave, they're straight 80s rockers. And if it's not 80s, they don't listen to it. And so when we knew exactly how we should take the feel of this song. And we said, Jake, you're a fast solo player. You have to play this solo.
It kind of reminds me of Metallica. It's got kind of a good, heavy, straightforward Metallica rockin' vibe. In fact, they're recording vocals for it right now in the studio, and Jake's doing a great job. It sounds awesome.
It was a fun one to put together. All of us, each had a lot of input on each tune, and we all, brought different elements to everything. And that was just one of those songs that just make it as heavy as possible for the sake of being heavy.
So if something's too heavy, I'll be like, maybe we should do something. So, and it's not because I don't like it. It's because I want it to be a rock band. We're not a metal band per se, but music-wise, I love thrash and playing stuff like that. But that's not what this band is. So this is our kind of like super fast, super heavy song.
So yeah, it's pretty bass heavy, but it's not. But it's just rocking. But without me, you wouldn't have those meat and potatoes.
Basically, you're not going to change who you are. I think at my core, I am who I am, and people have tried to change that over the years, and eventually those people fall out of my life. I think that's how everyone should be, is just, I'm not going to change what's important to me as a person. And I'm a firearms trainer, I'm a guitar player, I've been a guitar player all my life, and those things are important to me, but in turn it ended up making a really cool rock song, just about sticking to your core and kind of damn everyone else who thinks otherwise.
But no, I like it. It's a heavy, straightforward song, and it shows to me an angle inside of the band that I would like. I think I like the direction of that song for the band, or I like the heavier stuff. So that one's fun to play just because it's a headbanger. You can just sit and headbang and just rock out. You throw up the horns. It's a great tune.
It's about just having a good time, and it's about guns and guitars. So, yeah.
The cool fast guitars, speed picking solo, pick slide, double bass, and just 200 beats per minute, stuff like that. So this is a cool. It's fun one to play live too because it's up tempo and fast and fun.